What's up, guys? By the way, if you hear some cars or something going by, it's because actually I'm outside at a park making this video. But man, I just had to chime in, and if you hear that noise in the background, you shouldn't hear it too often if you do, because not many cars are passing by. But you know, who knows, a damn chopper could pass by or anything, man, or just a loud car with the big pipes on them or whatever could pass by. But anyway, I want to talk about the most recent discussion regarding the 10-year deal that Jim Ryan and PlayStation ended up with. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I am just astounded at how all of these PlayStation fans and all of these spokespersons for PlayStation, and I'm not talking about official ones that actually work for Sony, I'm talking about people like the Red Dragon, what's this other guy's name? Saltiest whatever. I don't really watch these guys, but I can't help but know who the Red Dragon is, because I actually used to follow the Red Dragon, not on Twitter, but on YouTube back when he was an Xbox guy. And yeah, believe it or not, he used to be an Xbox guy, and then Xbox broke his heart, and now he kind of acts like the scorned girlfriend. But anyway, basically I don't want to focus on them so much as I want to focus on the people who are watching this, and you're frustrated watching these people claim that Jim Ryan ended up with a better deal because the original deal offer by Microsoft was a 3-year deal for COD and all the other Activision games. Now, the thing they're doing is that they're playing with the truth by just evading certain other context that would make the picture more clear. Now, one of the things I notice is when they keep pounding that 3 years, they're like pounding it like every day, even though they know people know better, because we all saw Microsoft and Xbox and Phil Spencer, we all saw them offering a 10-year deal with other Activision games for months. There were certain people, even myself, I was wondering, like, it got to a point where I was like, look, you're gonna own it. This deal is not illegal. There's nothing illegal about it. You're not going to take over the industry because of this deal. You're still going to be in the same place you were in before you purchase it. So this is not a threat. I don't even understand why you keep offering this to them. You basically, regardless of what you plan to do with COD, just to make a point, you should just say, we're going to do with COD whatever we want to do with COD. And just made the argument as to why there was nothing wrong with that. I wasn't the only one that felt that way, but it was the principle of the thing. You're going to own something and somebody else is going to dictate to you what you do with that thing that you own. Just crazy to me. That's kind of bizarre. But anyway, one of the things I noticed when they keep pounding the 3-year deal is they never put the source on the screen. Or if they're on Twitter, they never put up a pic of the email where the 3-year deal was offered to Jim Ryan. And the reason they don't do that is because of the date on it. That's the reason why they don't do it. They know that if we put that image up, everyone is going to see that offer was in mid-year of 2022. So everyone's going to see that, and everyone is going to know that that was the old original deal. So in proper steps, it was that, which really was, you'll get 3 years of COD guaranteed, you'll get 3 years of Activision Blizzard guaranteed. And I think the reason why they came up with that was because I think PlayStation has some kind of contract. I think it goes to, someone said 2024, but I've heard some other people say 2027 or whatever. Anyway, that was the original offer, regardless of what their contract was. That was what Phil Spencer offered. And it's in the email, but the email is dated mid-year of 2022. Now, I don't have the email right in front of me right now. I'll have it on the screen when I make the video and you'll be able to see it. But they don't do that to prove their point, because like I said, they don't want you to see that old date. The way it went in order was they offered the 3 years, and then when things started getting really hot in the case and the FTC was really doing their thing, really trying to block the deal, and Jim Ryan was talking about he wanted to block the deal, and that whole drama was going on, they upped it and said, hey, okay, I'll tell you what, you'll get COD for 10 years and you'll get Activision games for 10 years. We guarantee it. Because to be honest with you, I really don't think in the grand scheme of things, it really mattered to Xbox. It just didn't matter. So they were like, okay, look, 10 years. And they were shouting this to everybody. You know, they were telling him, hey, we have the contract right here. Come and sign the contract. There's a truck driving by right now. So I don't know if you get that or not, but anyway, I apologize for that. But yeah, so everyone saw this. And so it just amazes me that these people are online saying 3 years when they know that everybody saw Microsoft offering 10 years. They swore it. They told Jim Ryan that, they told the regulators that, and then later, Phil Spencer, he swore to it in the court of law to Judge Corley. And by the way, in California, even a verbal contract is binding. So even before Phil Spencer swore that under sworn testimony, the fact that he was saying it publicly in front of everybody, to journalists, to the FTC, to Jim Ryan, to all the interviews that he was doing, Phil Spencer was doing, and the other executives, that's binding alone, because they were saying a lot of that stuff right here in California. That's binding. As long as someone can prove that you actually said whatever it is you said, that is legally binding here in California and in many other places around the country. I can't really think of anywhere where a verbal contract, where if you can prove that someone actually said something or guaranteed you something or something like that, where that's not binding. That's actually binding in most states. So it went 3 years, and then they changed it to 10 years because they wanted the FTC to go away. They wanted Jim Ryan to go away. Plus they wanted everybody, the public, to see, look, we're offering this. They probably knew that Jim Ryan was going to turn it down, but it didn't matter to them anyway. But they wanted people to see, look what we're offering. And then on top of that, they started offering that same deal to everyone else, probably to embarrass Jim Ryan. And it worked, and it should have worked. Everyone else was signing the 10-year deal. They're getting COD, and I don't know if they're getting Activision Blizzard. I think they're getting Activision games as well, if I remember correctly. I'll look more into that, and if that's the case, I'll have that on the screen if I can find it. But so now we end up with the final deal. The final deal now is, because now Xbox doesn't need to worry about anything. You know, the FTC lost, and they're about to wrap things up in the UK, and now they basically told Jim Ryan, yeah, you just get 10 years of COD, and then that's it. No Activision Blizzard games. Now, I personally believe, and some people have disagreed with me on this on Twitter, I believe a lot of those games are going to be Xbox exclusives, because you do want some exclusives to be in your ecosystem. But I also believe that they're going to use some of these games. I think what they're going to do is they're going to look at how Sony has been conducting themselves. Like, because Sony's still the market leader. They still can well afford to run around and do the same things that they've been doing, which is block Xbox out of certain games. Everything that they've been doing, paying people not to put games on Game Pass, scooping up exclusive deals because of their market share. They still have the same market share. Microsoft, they're in 3rd place with console. They're in like 5th place when you look at the gaming companies in general. I think Tencent is that is number 1, I believe. But anyway, I think what they're going to do is, according to how many games Sony continues to block Xbox out of, I think they're going to stop worrying about it. They're going to stop stressing out about it. And I think when it comes to deciding how many of these games go to PlayStation, I think that's largely going to depend on PlayStation's conduct. If they continue going down the path they've been going, trying to make things hard for them, trying to make things hard for Game Pass, if they keep doing things exactly the way they're doing right now, I don't think any of these games are going to come to PlayStation. I think some of these games are going to be used as bargaining chips. I mean, some of these games, they're probably going to end up saying, hey, Jim, if they hear that Jim Ryan is trying to scoop up a major third-party AAA game, they may contact him beforehand. Hey, we hear that you're trying to get an exclusive deal on this game, and we just want to let you know that, you know, you've expressed interest in this game coming to PlayStation and that game coming to PlayStation, but we want this game to come to the Xbox. We may not necessarily want to put it in Game Pass, but we do want our gamers to have access to this game. Now, if you want to do it for 2 or 3 months or 6 months or something like that, fine. But anyway, they'll work out the details, but I do believe that these sorts of conversations are going to take place. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was how the whole 10-year deal, the whole subject of the 10-year deal, and the fact that the original deal was 3 years, mid-year of 2022. Then it was 10 years for both COD and all other Activision games. And now, as a result of Jim Ryan waiting too long, he ends up with only 10 years of COD, and that's it. So Jim Ryan lost. You snooze, you lose. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this. I'm going to go ahead and continue with my day. Man, it's going to be hot today out here in the Bay Area. But anyway, I'll survive it. Got plenty of water. But anyway, guys, as usual, stay safe.